everybody. This is Harriet Cammock. Thank you so much for joining us on our show today. And today we're going to talk about dating violence. And the reason we're talking about it is because there seems to be an escalation of violence among women. Violence against women has reached unprecedented levels in our society. And violence is not just confined to domestic relationships, it's also in our dating relationships. It could be with someone whom we've just met, perhaps someone whom we are planning to go out on a date for. So I wanted to begin today by providing you with a definition of what dating violence is. And the typical definition is that dating violence is a learned pattern of abusive tactics used by one person in a relationship to impose control on the other. Really, what does that mean? It's simple, isn't it? Yes, you would admit. It's because one person in a relationship decides that they're going to take control of the other person. And one of the components I have found, one of the things that I have found from my own experiences is that people in a relationship, there are some people who like to be in control. And typically, it's the person who believes strongly in male-female stereotypes. And I know you're sitting there saying, wow, how could that be? But the truth of the matter is, anyone who believes in especially those who believe strongly in male-female stereotypes, that's a person who's most likely to impose his beliefs and his control on the other person. So here you are, you think you've met Prince Charming. So you go out on a date. And suddenly when he shows up, he might say, the first thing you're going to say, because you feel like a princess, you say, "How do I look?" And he says, "Well, I'm not so sure," or you could change that. Now, most men, the typical guy, he'll just say you look great, because what he wants is to get on to go eat his Cheetos or whatever. But the person who sits back and says, "Well, next time I'm going to choose for you, watch out. Watch out," that's the first indication of control. So you arrive at the restaurant, and the first thing he does is, you might say, just to be nice, "Well, what do you recommend that I have?" But you really weren't expecting him to choose. You just wanted what? A recommendation. But instead, what does he do? He says, "You should have this." He orders your drink. He orders your appetizer. He orders your main course. And you're sitting there like, "Oh, wow, what is this I have walked into?" These are the signs that I'd like you to look out for. Anybody who is interested in isolating you, suddenly they don't want to take you on a date where your friends meet or where your family meet or other persons you know in common. If they don't want to take you there, so they're interested in isolating you, and someone who minimizes, they minimize you. They make you feel less than you are. They minimize whatever complaints you might have. Or if you just simply say, "That wasn't nice," and they say, "Well, I didn't mean that," or "It wasn't important." So I'd like you to bear these things in mind when next you go out on a date. Now, here's another thing that I'd like you to do. Next time on our show, we're going to continue talking about dating violence, and I'm going to go into role playing. That's right, I'm going to show you how it works so that when next you join us, you'll be able to see for yourself. Now, here's what I'd like you to do for me. Go to my website, www.harrietcammock.org. You will find more information on dating violence. And make sure that you come back and join us next time on The Harriet Cammock Show.